governmental measures against the Hasm movement and the Hasm movement today. The Egyptian government has been retaliating against the movement and engaging in violence with their members and followers. In 2019, the Egyptian security forces reported killing 7 of the Hasm militants in a shootout in Giza. Egyptian police also reported killing 3 members while they were driving a loaded truck full of IEDs. IEDs are improvised explosive devices. The truck pulled up to a security checkpoint where it was approached by police officers and gunfire was exchanged between the two groups, leaving 3 of the members dead and 1 police officer injured. Militants were hiding in an apartment in Giza where security forces raided and gunfire was exchanged again, leaving 4 of the members injured and 3 had escaped in an explosive-laden truck. The truck ultimately exploded, leaving the 3 lasting members of that raid deceased. The Hasm movement has been listed as a terrorist organization linked to the Muslim Brotherhood, which are both illegal in Egypt. Security forces have taken measures to figure out the Hasm movement's attacks before they happen with high surveillance technology. The military has taken efforts in counteracting the movement by advancing their attack methods, advancing their weaponry, and by using, again, the same high technological surveillance. The security forces have made valiant efforts in arresting leaders, members, and followers of the movement. There have been many legal measures taken against the members and supporters, which we'll see in the next slide. As previously stated, the Egyptian government has taken many legal steps to stop the movement, their members, and their supporters. 4 Egyptian teens were arrested in 2016 for having ties to the movement and protesting the Egyptian government. The teens have now escaped the death penalty and had their charges dropped. However, 1 remains in prison, serving a 3-year sentence. The teens were subjected to police torture, including hanging by their arms for 3 days or more, electric shock, which sometimes happened to their genital areas, and beatings. One of the men actually reported that one of the beatings happened in front of his father. On March 11, 2020, 112 members of the movement were sentenced to life imprisonment for their ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and the Hasm movement and terrorist activities. They were sentenced to life in prison, and 10 detainees were also sentenced to 15 years imprisonment, as well as 17 of the members sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. 80 additional members of the Hasm movement had their charges dropped, and 1 defendant actually died before trial could start. A Muslim Brotherhood leader was arrested because of his alleged support of the Hasm movement against the Egyptian government. The leader of the Muslim Brotherhood was Khalid al-Mahdi. He was arrested by Kuwait police and extradited to Egypt for his support of the Hasm movement in 2019. He is facing 5 to 15 years imprisonment, as well as an already set 10 years imprisonment for the involvement in violent acts, funding the Muslim Brotherhood, and inciting chaos. A military court in Cairo found and sentenced 41 individuals to life in prison with ties to the Hasm movement in 2020. The 41 individuals were charged with terror-related activities and ties to a terrorist organization, also known as the Hasm movement at the time. On March 9, 2020, they were responsible for killing a senior Egyptian army officer and the attempted assassination of Egypt's former Mufti, Sheikh Ali Goma, along with a deputy public defender. The Hasm movement has some emblems and some pictures that you can see on the next slide. Thank you.